divisional round talk. 4 games this weekend. We're down to what, 7 football games left? 8 if you count the Pro Bowl, but that's not a game.
It's not a game. It's a skill. Well, I guess there's a flag football game and then some whatever it is, skills competitions.
Always makes me sad.
And yet it still draws better numbers than like most other sports, including NBA Finals and Stanley Cup Finals, World Series. Like 8 million people watch that thing.
Teams coming off buys since 2001.
And this is a little bit different, too, because now we only have the one team coming off the bye.
Yeah. But I think the conventional wisdom might be that those teams do really well.
And I'll bet you it's not as good as you think.
Well, I've got both straight up and against the spread.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
which would you like?
Well, there's always that notion of is it better to get the week's rest? And teams like Baltimore and San Francisco, you actually got 2 full weeks because they didn't play the week before anybody.
I would contend that it helped Houston. You know, Houston beat Cleveland badly. Cleveland rested all their players in week 17. Yeah. And Houston basically had a playoff game. They had to win to get in, beat Indy. I feel like that helped Houston.
The adage is, do you want to just stay razor sharp? It's like the idea of being hot, like maybe the Buccaneers or Houston, where the last month of the season, every game is a playoff because you know you can't lose any. Whereas San Francisco and Baltimore, you're a little bit on cruise control. I get both sides. I would think some of it has to just do with health. If you're a beat-up team, I would always want the extra rest. And as a player that was always beat up, I would want the extra rest. So I will always take the bye, but I understand the notion of stay in a routine, stay sharp. And I'm guessing the numbers are going to bear that out. And so give me against the spread.
ATS, what do you think? So I've got, 82 games here.
Okay, I'm still going to say that, I mean, you're still a big favorite when you're coming off a bye. So I'm going to say, you said 82 games? Mm-hmm. So you got...
an NBA season of games.
Yeah, it's going to be more than half. I'm going to go against the spread. That's different. I'm going to go like 48 wins against the spread.
37.
Yeah, worse than I even thought.
37, 43-2 against the spread. Losing record.
Okay.
And straight up...
And can I also say, too, that maybe that is one of those, too, because you're talking about a spread, and most of the time, I'm guessing those spreads are going to be fairly significant because you're dealing with wild card teams or teams that are getting into the playoffs barely versus, obviously, the dominant teams. And you get to that point in the season, you may not be a great team, but you're probably playing well, and again, you're hot. So I'm going to guess if it was 37 against the spread, I'm going to still say that's 50 straight up.
55.
50. Okay, there you go.
55 and 23, although I'm missing a few games in there. But, yeah. So not as good as you think.
No. Again, I think you get to this point in the year, and you mentioned it with Tampa. Tampa's not great, but...
They're not a fraud either.
They're not a fraud. You can't really get here and be a fraud. And I would say like last year, the Giants... They beat the Vikings in the first round. That's a fraud team. Like the Giants weren't good.
Who beat them the second round?
I'd have to look back. Maybe Philly thumped them. Was it San Francisco? I think it might have actually been San Francisco that thumped them. But they weren't. That was just one of those where that someone had to get in. They backed their way in, and they got a real favorable matchup because
Philly
38-7. Yeah, I was gonna say I remember they got bitch slapped by somebody. But for the most part, when you get here, whether you're talking about the Buccaneers, the Packers, the Texans, and those are the teams that were kind of the last ones in. Again, I don't think any of those are great teams, but they're all playing well. They've all been playing for their playoff lives for the last month and a half. And outside of Houston, I wouldn't be shocked if they found a way to pull that off, especially Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay finds a way to pull that off, I will not be floored. The 49ers and the Ravens, we've seen weirder things happen, but those you should win.
The whole world, the whole gambling world will moneyline parlay Niners Ravens.
Yes.
All of them.
Everybody.
And that instantly means one of them will lose. Instantly.
Yeah, God. I think I would lean.
If one of them's going to lose, I think it's going to be Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah. I think that game's closer than Green Bay, San Francisco, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. The spread is right about the same. I think it's what 9.5 for both teams. So I don't know.
That money line parlay could be the lock of the century.
I think if I
sounds a little too good to be true.
If I'm trusting someone, I think I would take Baltimore simply because they haven't. When's the last time Baltimore looked vulnerable? I mean, they're just
every year in the playoffs. Thank you.
That's pretty good.
Thank you so much.
But you look through, right? They are just crushing teams, including good teams.
Yeah, so San Francisco, though.
San Francisco. Well, San Francisco is one that got crushed by Baltimore. That was the one where everyone got put on notice, and
yeah, but they
and Mark Andrews may play. They're saying that it's up in the air.
Did you know Chiefs Dolphins on Peacock created a single day internet usage record in the United States?
No, did it?
Yeah, 23 million.
I think I saw that it was the largest.
I shouldn't say 23. It did create a single day internet usage record, beating the 2 runaway llamas in Arizona that one year. And I'm not kidding. But they said, I think 23 million people watched the game.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Yeah.
But you had to have Peacock in order to
think about
see
that.
It,
a crappy streaming network that people were like, what the hell is Peacock? And it got 23 million people. They said it was the single largest streaming sign-up day ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's the largest internet day in the U.S., that stands to reason.
I gotta
how much they paid for that game?
How much?
They had one game.
One game.
Do you know how much that game cost them?
$150 million.
$110 million.
$110 million
for that game.
And I'm guessing they're looking at it.
And it was a total dud, except for the cold and Taylor Swift.
And I'll bet you that they're just sitting there like, ha.
They're raking money.
I wonder how many of those are 1 week, like the free trials. I need to see the cancellation rate right now.
Well, I'm not really even sure how I watched it. I apparently my wife has it. I don't think.
Yeah, I headed to the east, as I always do.
I don't know.
I will not sign up for crap. If there's something I need to watch, you head to the streams of the east, and it takes care of you.